Hey guys, Simply Betta here. Today I'm sharing a project that I made quite a while ago and I just never shared. I never made a video about it. I do things like this. I'll make cool things and I'll do fun projects and then I'll never share them. Like, what's wrong with me? So here I am finally sharing my Betta rack that has a water change system in it. I made this a while ago because I was having trouble keeping up with all of my fry that were growing out. With Betta fish, as the babies mature, you have to separate the males and separate the most aggressive fish from the spawn and let them grow out. Ooh, thunder. You have to separate those fish from their spawn and let them grow out in their own little container. That's what I do. This protects the rest of the spawn from the aggressive little males, so that way they don't tear each other apart. I was doing this, but then I had so many containers with little growing out fish that I was having a really hard time water changing all of them. So that's what made me think that I needed to make a little system that did the water changes for me. So that's what I did. Here is my system. It's a flow-through Betta rack that I built out in my garage. I'll have a segment of me building it near the end of this video. It can support 47 fish. I keep my fish carded with index cards, which I take out to let them flare at each other around feeding time. It gives them some good exercise. I feel like I did a good job making it watertight. There aren't any drips or leaks anywhere, which was really important to have in case I decided to make this a recirculating system someday. This whole thing was a huge learning experience for me, so I definitely made a lot of mistakes and there were a lot of leaks at first, but after redoing some parts, it's working just fine now. Here's a rundown on how my system works. This is where my water comes in, and it's attached to these little valves here, so I can control the drip rate. I can control how fast the water is coming into the containers. Fresh water goes into the containers, and then wastewater leaves through that little hole. I have a piece of PVC going through a little valve, so it's watertight. It's a plastic container, but I've made it watertight. That was really important to me. I couldn't have any leaks. It's wrapped up with a little piece of mesh and a rubber band to make sure fish can't somehow escape down there. The mesh is actually from like a loofah sponge that I cut up. I was getting pretty crafty there. Then the water exits down through a little hose. The hose is tucked down into slots into my wastewater PVC, which is a slightly angled long strip of PVC that goes through my posts here, and the water will slowly drain down to this is what the end looks like. This is where my wastewater drips down from each rack. It's going to drip down, and then right now it just drains into a bucket. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this nice little valve here, and then it will be attached to hose. And then the hose I'm just going to run over to my sink. It's going to go straight into the sink. I just need to get the right size hose. I can't find it anywhere locally. I'm gonna have to buy it online. This piece of PVC here is where my water comes in. So what I do is I fill up my water change bucket, which is like a 25-gallon square garbage can full of water at the right temperature. The pump goes into it. The pump is attached to this PVC here, and then the pump is what delivers all of the water to the containers. Because it's still sort of in a testing phase, I have had to do a lot of tweaks and changes. I haven't been able to really use it as much as I wanted to, so I've been manually changing water as well. So I don't exactly have a lot of plants or leaves in with the fish right now, not a lot of decoration in there, because having decorations makes it a lot harder to suck out waste. Suck out waste, that sounds gross. It's not a completely hands-off system. I still go in like once a day or once every couple days, and I use a turkey baster and I suck out the waste that accumulates at the bottom of the containers. It just helps keep the water nicer. It helps keep the fish healthier. I don't like that waste building up. A lot of these fish are just growing out right now. They're meant to be headed to my local pet store. I have them marked with little pieces of tape, the ones that are going to the pet store, and then I have ones which hopefully I'll put on my site. I just have to find time to take some nice pictures. That's the hard part for me. It's like taking the time to update my website and put nice photos up or videos. It takes time and I don't always have that time. This summer has been nuts. I'm hoping to get some fish up on my site soon. Now I'll show the system in action. All right, here's my water change bucket. I went ahead and I put a bit of water in it that's at an appropriate temperature, dechlorinated. Dropped the pump in there, turned it on. So now the pump is delivering water fairly slowly to all the fish. As you can see, it's definitely not a very fast system. I have it pretty slow and gentle. Whoops, and I'm still kind of tweaking it. Like, look, that one's hardly working, so I'm just gonna go fiddle with the valve. So I'm just working out little kinks still, but it's really close to being done. It's working! Would you guys like to see a montage of me building this system? Because here it is. Let's make this shelf. It's midnight, but I have some work to do. I have a bunch of holes to drill in these Betta jars behind me. I have 3 boxes of new jars. I better get started. Together in my garage. It was my first time kind of making anything like this, so I'll come out of it knowing a lot more about how to make a system, and I'll be able to apply this in the future someday, which is pretty neat. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.